Okay, hello and welcome to Brightside's 3 steps to running a PB, but most importantly staying injury free. In just 3 steps we can get you that PB you want and help you enjoy your running. So, step number 1 is going to be looking at being strong. Are you strong enough to be able to deal with the impact of the running, and is your muscles strong enough to be able to deal with running a little bit quicker and maybe a little bit more frequently if you can. Step number 2 is going to be technique work. Are you using your muscles as efficiently as you can be? Is everything moving forwards, or have you got something moving across your body, going side to side? Are your hips moving around quite a bit? We're going to make sure everything is as straight as possible to send you forward as quickly as possible. And then after you've done number 1 and number 2, you get to do what you really want to do, which is run. Now, the reason we've done it in that order is if you start running and you're running with bad form, you're going to get injured. If you start running and you're not strong enough to deal with the impact or the sessions that you're going to do to improve your running, you'll get injured. So that's why the running bit comes last. So bear with step 1 and step 2, and you're going to be able to do what you really love, which is run. Not only run, but run faster and stay injury free. So this is Brightside's 3 steps to a PB and staying injury free. Step number 1 is the conditioning and stability. So when you're running, you're always on one leg or the other. So it makes sense to be as stable and as strong on one leg or the other, unless you plan on running around like this, which I don't think many of you will be. So what we're going to do for the first exercise, I say working that single leg strength and stability. Literally stand on one leg, lift the other leg up, make sure you're at right angles from your hip to your knee and your knee down to your ankle, and we just hold that pose there. Okay, that's all we're doing. So you stay up nice and tall, and what you're doing, you're working your strength in your hip flexors, you're working the strength and stability then through the supporting leg as well. Okay, so trying to get your body nice and stable, so when you hit the floor, when you're running, you are as stable as you can be when you hit the floor. So we'll do that 60 seconds on one leg, and you swap it over, as I perfectly demonstrate, and you do 60 seconds then on the other leg. This drill, this exercise, is the basic foundation for everything else that you want to do. Okay? You get this right and get this feeling really easy, then everything else will become a lot easier for you. So try that 60 seconds, each side. Do it while you're waiting for your bath to pour, do it while your kettle's boiling, or put it in a sequence of exercises that I'm going to give you now. Okay, so the second exercise we want you to do is a little bit of progression from that first exercise. So what we're going to do is a nice high knee run on the spot, okay? That's what we're going to do. Now you can hear, hopefully, I'm not making too much noise on the floor. You're going to be as light as you can when you're hitting the floor. Okay, you come in a bit more onto your forefoot when you do this drill. Okay, so all you're going to do, every third step, you're going to try and stop. And once again, your body needs to control the momentum that you're generating when you're running forwards. And now, the more control you've got over the momentum, the more power you're going to be able to generate to push you forwards, the less chance there is, once again, of you overstriding, falling, hurting yourself, hitting the floor too hard, stressing your joints, all that kind of stuff. Okay? So all we're doing is 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Okay? That's all we're going to do. Now, if you're feeling comfortable with that, and you want to start working your fitness a little more, you can go up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Really, really good stability drill. Also works your fast twitch muscles, which gets them ready for a bit of faster work when we get to phase 3, which is the actual running. Next exercise we're going to do, okay, it's all about increasing the range of movement through your hip and working the muscles in your leg, and then still coming up into that running pose at the top. So what we do, we take a nice big step back. Okay, so you see I'm really stretching out through my hip here. Okay, we don't drop down into a lunge, it's a nice big step back. Stretch out here, weight in this leg, and we drive up into that position. So once again, you're controlling that momentum and the power that you're driving forwards here. Now, what you might find is you end up coming forwards. Just slow it down a little bit, okay, until you become comfortable doing it, and then you can power through a bit more and get that control again. Okay, so it's increasing the range of movement through your hip, which will increase the range of movement when you're running, and then being stable in that bigger range of movement. Okay, so your body works in opposites when you run. So it's important that when you're actually doing your training, that you're working your muscles in that way. So you're working the opposite muscle groups that are going to be working together when you're running, when you're moving. So when you're running, obviously, opposite arm, opposite leg. So when you're doing your core work, okay, if we can, we work one side of the body with the other side of the body. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a seat on the floor, okay, and all we're going to do is take a lean back until you start to feel this sort of working away. We lift your left leg up and your right arm up, and we just hold that position. Okay, so you're working the strength in your hip here, but at the same time, because this arm's up in the air, you've got your obliques working to support that hip movement. And that is really exactly what happens when you're running, okay? You've got the obliques here working away to support your glute, and then your hip flexor as well on this side as that gets the drive up. Okay, so if you can do that 30 seconds on each side, perfecto. Okay, so you need to try and do these exercises 3 or 4 times a week, 30 to 60 seconds on each bit of each exercise. Okay, you need to carry that out for about 10 days, then you're ready to move on to step 2. When all this feels easy, you're ready to move on to the next bit. Okay.